Hello, hello, everybody. So I'm just going to give it a minute and allow people to come on live. And today I'm going to be talking about energetic intelligence, the wisdom of energetic intelligence, and what many of us may think energetic intelligence is, but I'm going to be opening up a bigger truth, a deeper truth around energetic intelligence, and how when you understand energy on a much deeper level, you can actually start to understand the universe on a much deeper level, life on a much deeper level, how you interact with life. And I almost see it as like biohacking life, right? Not biohacking, energy hacking life, like fully understanding how you are in relationship with your life and everything within it. Welcome to those of you that are live. Hello, hello. Hi, Lisa. Hi, everybody. Okay, so I am gonna dive in, really. I'll start with just a little intro to me. I haven't been live on Instagram, I'm going to say, for over a year, maybe even longer. So thank you for being here, and thank you for watching, even if it's in the replay. So I'm an energy healer, and I work within the quantum field. I work within the quantum field to support people in their lives through their energy. I don't necessarily work with emotions and thoughts as a primary. I go deeper. I work with people's energy. I work in the ancestral realms. I work in, I support people to connect to their divine intelligence. I teach people how to do the work that I do for themselves. So for me, it's really important that, when I first became a healer years and years ago, I was the healer, right? I came and I healed people. People would come to me with my Reiki, being a Reiki master, and they would lay down, and I would do the healing. And that has evolved. And in the last 2 years, it's been very important for me to teach people how to do this work for themselves and for humanity, right? Because it's not just those of us labeled as healers or who have an interest in healing that can do this. We all have access to these multidimensional realms, to this multifaceted energy, and we all have the ability to transmute that energy, to shift that energy, to use our energy, to wield it, to create the life that we want to have. So it's really important for me to kind of share that aspect of it. Oh, thank you, Lisa. So firstly, I want to start with what is energetic intelligence. Everything is energy, right? Absolutely everything in life is an energy, has an energy running through it, from other people to inanimate objects, to Mother Nature, to the universe as a whole. Everything has energy. So when we don't start to understand how energy moves and flows, then we're cutting ourselves off from so much wisdom, from so much information, right? So you've been taught to live as a physical being, right, with a rational mind. That's only such a small part of what you are capable of. We're coming into, well, we're deeply in the era of emotional intelligence. People are seeking therapy, understanding how emotions move through their body, understanding that we shouldn't be holding on to emotion, we should allow it to flow. And emotion is energy in motion, right? But the next level of that, the next layer of understanding, is our energetic intelligence, because it's the driving force behind everything. And so I've said before, it's not your thoughts that create your reality, not singularly anyway. It's the energy behind those thoughts that you're having. And so how many of you actually think on that level or feel on that level? It's like, what's the energy underneath the emotions? What's the energy underneath the thoughts? What's the energy underneath the actions that I'm taking? Because it's that that's important. It's that when you bypass the other stuff, you go deep into the energy first and foremost, everything just kind of feels a bit easier, because we allow the thoughts and the emotions that we have. We allow the thoughts and the emotions that we have to become, we can detach from them. We very easily become attached and identified to emotions and thoughts. That's what we do as humans. That's what we do as humans. And that's what creates a lot of suffering. A lot of suffering is that identification with an emotion, with a thought, with a persona, with a personality. But you're not only human, you're also a divine intelligence. And that divine intelligence, that energy, doesn't become attached to those things. Its innate nature is not to be attached. And so for us to, I would say, live successfully, live in harmony, live free from mind, from emotions, from identification, we have to detach from how we identify to life, to our emotions, to our mind. And that comes with the understanding of energy. And it might feel complex, right? Or you might be like, oh no, I get energy. I understand manifestation. I know vibrationally like attracts like, right? That's one facet of energy. Or you might be thinking, God, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, I don't understand what you mean about energy, and because you can't see it, but it permeates everything. So what I'm going to be speaking, like going through today, is real foundational basics around the laws, the universal laws of energy. And hopefully this will just give you some foundational knowledge and some aha moments. But this work can always be taken deeper. And I'll be speaking to that a little bit towards the end, or just peppered throughout, how you can take this work deeper if you want to take this work deeper, right? So what I wanted to say is the importance of us now stepping into energetic intelligence. Like I said, emotional intelligence, mental intelligence, IQ, EQ, we have that covered as a humanity now. What we don't have covered is our energetic intelligence. And this is the next level of evolution, I believe, for humanity. There's a lot of people worried about, you know, technology and AI and the way that the world is moving. We can combat that when we start to fully integrate as an energetic being and understand the technology of energy and understand how we move through life as energy, and how we can go within our, you know, Lisa will know this, we have an internal universe within us, our Akashic universe, that holds all the imprints of our energy since our soul came into creation. When we can go within ourselves and explore that Akashic energy and our Akashic universe within, and we can find all the places where we're hooked into ways of being, hooked into different energies, enmeshed with things, and we can unhook, release, transmute, let go from that level, that is such sustainable change. It's sustainable change. It's change that will last forever. And this is why my healing mentorship, where I teach people how to do this, is 6 months long, because, you know, I have a lot of people question why it's so long. It's 6 months because we integrate how you change your life on a deep level. This isn't, let's change our mindset. We shift our mindset. We can do that really rapidly, but it's not sustainable change, because actually the root of that thought is buried deep somewhere within your energetic universe. It's hooked in somewhere. And so it will keep coming back, that it will keep being fed energy from within you. And so that thought process will come back. It's very difficult to make sustainable, long-lasting change with just mindset shifts. I would go so far as to say also for emotional shifts, right? Because emotionally, when we let go of emotion and we allow it to flow through the body, and we fully let it go, yes, that's powerful. And obviously I've been doing this work a long time. Yes, that's powerful. But I would controversially also say, if we're not fully unhooking from the energetic pipeline that's feeding that emotion, it will come back. This is why we talk. That's why I believe we are trapped in trauma loops. We are trapped in healing. We are trapped in feeling not good enough. We are trapped in feeling as though we've constantly got something to fix, because we haven't understood the importance and the power of energetic intelligence, and how we can unhook and shift on that very deep level. Let me know that you're kind of picking up what I'm putting down. Thank you, Lisa. You explained this so clearly. Thank you. That's very kind. Lisa's an incredible Akashic reader, Akashic energy reader and healer. She's incredible. So look her up if you haven't already. Trauma loops are so prevalent, right? Getting caught. I mean, who's heard of this? Like, oh, it's a spiral that we move through. When we move through our trauma, we have to come back and we have to learn about all the different elements of that trauma so we can fully let it go. And that's why it comes in a spiral. I'd like to say that you don't have to get caught up in that loop, in that spiral, to fully let something go. When you learn the intrinsic nature of your energy, making notes, Lucy, when you learn that intrinsic nature of your energy and how you move and flow and connect to energy and release energy and give out energy, when you learn about that and you integrate that wisdom and that knowledge, and you walk this path more in alignment with your divine intelligence as an energy rather than a human, when we bring the two into balance, then I truly believe that the trauma loops, we will be able to disband those, because we're just trapped in suffering by identifying to the thoughts, by identifying to the emotions. It's very important that we all learn to detach from that identification. You know, as a child, I've always been connected to the energetic part of me. Like as a child, I was fully aware that I was more than just flesh and bone, more than just human, that I could communicate energetically with the world around me. And very much so, I would pull people's energy into me to release them of things. I would, and a lot of empaths do this. It's a very identification with an empathic nature, right? My parents, if they were feeling sad or if they were feeling worried, I just knew, and we all know how to do this, and a lot of us are doing this unconsciously. So just take note that just because you haven't got full awareness of being an energetic entity doesn't mean you're not moving through life as one. You are naturally moving through life as an energetic entity. You are giving out energy, pulling in energy, transmuting energy, shifting energy, not protecting energy, protecting energy, all unconsciously. Now imagine if you could do this consciously, cleanly, precisely. It's a game changer. It completely changes the way that you live your life. And so as a child, yeah, I'd pull my parents' pain out of them energetically, and I'd put it into my body, and I'd clear it. And many people that do this, unintentionally, and may come away feeling heavy, may come away feeling depressed, anxious, all sorts of vibrations in the body, energetic feelings in the body that actually aren't theirs. So this kind of work is so needed, right? Because more and more of us now, especially with the way that our universe is shifting and changing, and the way that planet Earth is receiving light and receiving energy, we are all upgrading naturally in our energy, right? Astrologically, lots of shit's going on, and it's shifting the energy within us. Our planet, bye, Lisa. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your kind words. I love you. As a planet, you know, we are we're receiving so much more light from the sun. We're receiving solar flares, and just imagine that's energy. So that's going to affect the energy within us, just as the moon, that's water, affects the water within us. The light from the sun that's now pounding down on the earth over the last few years and shifting us really completely. And a lot of that is also to do with, like, what we think is global warming is actually just the way that the planets and our earth is relating to the sun. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. But naturally, we are upgrading our energetic intelligence. We are upgrading the way that we feel energy. So it's the perfect time now to start understanding how we move through life as energy, because it's becoming prevalent on a collective level. It really is. And if we're moving with energy out of integrity, then we will be taking on things that we don't want to be taking on. We'll be giving out things that we don't want to be giving out. We'll be creating things in our lives because we are the master creators of our life. We'll be creating things that we don't really want to be creating. So when we're in the highest of integrity, life becomes, how do I even put it into words? It's very difficult to put into words, but you kind of slipstream into your reality. You find it easy to maneuver through life. Life is going to throw us curveballs at all times, right? I mean, look at 2020 and what that did to us. Like, life is going to continue to throw us curveballs. How we respond to life is key. And if we're responding in integrity, meaning that we are actioning our beliefs and our values in alignment with how we're being in life, and if our energy is at the highest integrity, meaning it's clean and clear and pure and high vibrational. And this isn't to bypass that we have dense emotion, that we have sadness. No, we own that. Yes, we have those emotions. We're human. That's our human part. We have anxieties. We have pain. We have fear. But we also have this element to us that can transmute all of that into something higher, into something cleaner, into something purer, into peace. And that is what the 6-month mentorship is all about, right? And I'll go into more detail about that in the end. But I'm going to speak to you about the 12 universal laws of energy, just to give you a real foundational understanding of what energy is, right? Firstly, you will have all heard of the law of attraction. And probably that's the only law that you know of, and that's the only law that you understand to be connected to energy and how we can use it for manifestation. There are 11 other laws. And I think just by having intention of, like, just having awareness of those laws and then intentionally moving through life with those laws in mind, you can completely change your life, right? So, number one, the law of divine oneness. We are all connected energetically as one. We all come from source. We can say that we are children of God in that respect. We are all reflections of God. We are source energy. We are fractals of source. We are all a web of energy that's connected to everything. We are consciousness, all connected to everything, right? And when you know this, but know it to the point where you live by it, you live in integrity, because you know that the energy that you're putting out into the world, the energy that you are, is connected to everything. Your consciousness is connected to everything. Like, we have a collective consciousness, right? We've been moving through a huge wave of collective fear. We've all been feeling that fear, even if we're not really fearful people, or in our personal lives, we don't have a lot to be fearful of. We will have all been feeling that collective fear. So we're all from divine oneness, right? And we can connect to each other through that divine oneness. I connect to my client's energy remotely using that that law, understanding that law, right? I ask for permission to connect to their energy because that's in integrity, right? And I make sure that I'm protected in my energy space. They are protected in their energy space when we connect with each other. But it's some of the most powerful and potent work that I do is remote healing. And people are like, how is that even possible? Like, you're not even in the same room as the person. No. And it's the most powerful thing because I'm connected to my divinity, to the highest, cleanest, purest energy that I have within, right? I connect to that. I also then connect to that within my client. And together, those two energies bring harmony during the healing, right? So divine law of oneness, law of vibration. Every energy has a vibration. All energy vibrates at different frequencies. You know, certain emotions, certain thoughts have certain frequencies. You have denser frequencies, you have higher frequencies. Sadness and depression are really low, dense. That's why you feel low. That's why you feel kind of pulled down. Peace and joy have higher frequencies. So every energy, all energy has a vibration. And that's why the law of attraction that we all know about, that's pimped out, that's why it's connected to that, because like attracts like. The vibration that you're in attracts another similar vibration to you. So when you start to learn and understand the law of vibration, when you wake up and you're feeling heavy in your body, instead of attaching to that emotion and being like, I'm sad today. Like, I get those days. I wake up and I feel a heaviness in my body. Sometimes it's because I've not protected my energy when I've gone to sleep. And in dream time, I'm like picking up all sorts of stuff. Or it's just because there's something sad going on in my life. I can either attach to that, or I can recognize that that's just a frequency in my body. And I don't need to attach to it. When I attach to it, I claim it. And when I claim it, I hold on to it. And I don't want that. I want to acknowledge it. I want to know that I want it to know that I'm not ignoring it. But I can then also bring through a different energy of a different vibration and frequency to change it, to transmute it. There's a law of perpetual transmutation of energy, which is that all energy is constantly evolving and transmuting. So when you become so switched on to your energetic intelligence that you know what frequency that you're vibrating at, because you can feel it, you can feel the emotion. You see your thoughts and your emotions are signposts to the energy that you're carrying, holding in your field. They're the symptoms. So when we do mindset work or we do kind of emotional work, we're dealing with the symptoms. We're not dealing with the cause. And that's why energetic intelligence is so powerful, because you're going right to the cause, right? What's the other one? Law of correspondence. Sorry, I've just got a list of them because I don't remember them. Law of correspondence. This is about the mirror of life. As above, so below. As within, so without. Everything is mirrored. Everything in your internal universe is mirrored in your external. So whatever is going on for you externally, if it's giving you grief, if you're feeling like that person is constantly coming at me with that aggy energy, first thing to do, you can't control them. It's not your responsibility to control them. You have responsibility to come within and go, okay, I know, because I understand energy. I'm energetically now intelligent. I know that it's mirroring something from inside of me. So where am I coming from with that angry energy? Where is that within me? Where is that seeded within me? How can I find that, transmute that, shift that into a higher frequency, a higher vibration, to then mirror a better example in my external world? This is how I move through life. And this is how I teach people to move through life. Instead of like getting lost in the stories and lost in the drama of so-and-so is behaving in this way, or life keeps giving me these kinds of experiences, woe is me. I can't do anything about it, instead of that reaction, doesn't it feel so empowering to be able to go, oh, hold on a minute. Let me just take a look inside. Let me take a look at my energetic universe within me and find where I'm hooked into that vibration and why it's appearing in my life. And then being able to go, guess what? I can shift that. I can move that. And I can shift and move it without becoming attached to the emotion of it. I think sometimes people think about this kind of work and shy away from it because it's like, oh, I'm just going to have to delve into my emotions and all my past traumas. And oh, it's just too much to even go there. I'm afraid of it. I don't want to feel that way again. Sure, I get that. But when you're doing it from an energetic space, when you're detaching and not identifying, as I mentioned right at the beginning, to the energy of to the emotion, but you're actually going deep into the energy, you become detached. You don't need to feel all of those things. You don't get stuck in those trauma loops. It's a quick in. It's psychic surgery, right? You're using energy through intention, through visualization. And I'm going to speak about that in a whole different video because there's so much to say, but you bring through energy into your body and you can clear things, detach from things, let go of things very rapidly, very quickly. Yes, we then need to integrate in life. We have to then start behaving differently to integrate that change. But when you unhook energy from that deep level, from its source, then you're detaching from it, right? And that's the beauty of understanding that life is a mirror. And always remembering not to get entrenched in the story, entrenched in the drama, hooked into the emotion, hooked into the thoughts. Excuse me. Right. Hello, everyone who's joined. Let me know how this is landing for you. If you have any questions, please ask me some questions and I'll come to you at the end. So another law of energy is the law of inspired action. And this isn't just like programmed action, rational action. I need to do this to get there. This is about learning to connect to your divine intelligent energy and receive inspiration. And as you receive the inspiration, energetically know yourself to the point where you know whether it's true or not, firstly, because we can receive information from everywhere. Like I said, we're all in this web of connection. Knowing that it comes from that highest place of integrity, receiving that inspiration, and then taking action on it. Living life like that eliminates confusion, eliminates doubt, eliminates having to like, oh, I'm going to need to ask X, Y, and Z or read this book or no. You have everything that you need within you always. And living like that just takes away so much overwhelm, so much comparison, judgment. Just know. There's just a knowing. It's intuition, right? But when you look at it through the lens of divine intelligent energy and how you're hooked into source, always, every single human being is hooked into source. Every single living thing is hooked into source, is a reflection of, holds the energy of source within them. You've got a direct line to like the highest intelligence known to man. No need for doubt, no need for confusion. I've already said about the perpetual law of transmutation of energy, where you can shift your energy. Cause and effect. Cause and effect is understanding that your actions, the actions that you take, will create an effect in your life. And it's about taking responsibility for the actions that you take. It's about being in integrity, taking responsibility for yourself, right? Because how you respond to life is everything. Absolutely everything, because life is going to respond back in the same way. I think my phones don't die yet. The law of compensation, which is all about you reap what you sow. It's karma, right? Every action that you take is coded with energy, right? So if you're tending to a plant, have you seen those experiments where you tend to plants with love and they grow beautifully and they're abundant, or you tend to a plant with hateful words, hateful energy, and it rots and it dies, that's you reaping what you sow. The energy that you put into life is the energy you're going to get back. And at the moment, our collective is trapped in a cycle of scarcity and lack. And we're trapped in that cycle because it's coming up to be seen for what it fucking is, and it's not truth. That's for sure. We've forgotten the true nature of our abundance and the abundance of life. So when we feed our life with the energy of lack, we're just going to keep reaping that. We're going to keep seeing that. We're going to keep getting evidence of that. And so then we're going to start believing that that's true. That's what's happened. But when we fill our life with abundance, when we trust life, when we know that life is always going to give us what we need because we're good enough, because we're worthy enough. This work is deep, right? This is why my mentorship is 6 months. It goes deep. It shifts on such a deep level. It's not just about how you think and feel. When you shift your energy from lack into abundance, when you're doing it on that in that integral energetic way, you begin reaping what you sow. So being aware of what you're reaping and sowing now so that you can shift it, right? So all of these laws allow you to see how you're moving with energy in your life right now and gives you a framework of how you can shift it. The law of relativity, which is all about how, we relate to everything in life. And often, because we're human, we become attached to things, we identify with things, we take things personally, and it's all seen through our personal perspective. Like we all have a unique perspective lens in our eyeballs that we see life, how we have experienced life, right? And so this law of relativity is about neutrality. It's about coming into neutrality, not taking things personally, not comparing, not judging. The law of polarity, which is this light and dark, fear and love, but it's a spectrum. And it's all about being able to hold the duality of that spectrum and know that that spectrum crosses, and actually fear becomes love and love becomes fear. In its essence, they are both one and the same. So I taught a masterclass last year or the year before. I did a series of them around emotional alchemy, about how to look at different emotions and go into the energetics of them. And fear was one of them. And fear obviously makes us want to run and hide a lot of the time in our natural human instinct. When we understand this law of polarity and we understand that within fear there is love, there is wisdom, there is light, we learn how to dive into fear. If you take a fear and you go and you take it as an invitation to dive into it and speak with it and allow it to tell you what it, because energetically it's consciousness, allow your fear to converse with you, you can transmute that, right? There's wisdom held within your fears. There's wisdom held within your sadness. There's wisdom held within every emotion. And within love, there is also fear, right? They're polarities of each other. That saying, like, is it better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all? Because the pain, the fear of losing love, that separation from love. So energetic intelligence is also understanding emotions on such a deep level, that about their frequency, about their polarity, and how they are actually all intrinsically linked on a spectrum. Changes the game for how you respond to emotion that you feel. The law of rhythm, and this is about the ebbs and flows of life, the seasons of life. Right? As women, our monthly cycle. If we're working super hard, we actually then need to sit back and stop. with growth, there's also periods of integration and stillness. We need to honor these flows of energy. Energy flows. It'll have different speeds, different cycles. And when you start to understand your energetic cyclical nature, then you'll learn, like, even just as a simple example, knowing your menstrual cycle, knowing when you're in your spring, in your summer, in your autumn, in your winter changes the game. Because you know that when you're on your period, like doing too much is just not going to cut it. It's rest. And when you go against that, your body starts to fight back, your energy starts to fight back. So it's about honoring the cycles of life, honoring your cycles, honoring grief cycles, honoring death and rebirth cycles. When we don't have the energetic intelligence to understand how it ebbs and flows, then at times we're going to be pushing against like energy. That's exhausting. It's a leakage of energy. That's leaking energy all over the place. Right? Right. I think that was the last one. There was 12. That was 12. Let me go through them again. The law of divine oneness, the law of vibration, the law of attraction, the law of correspondence, the law of inspired action, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, the law of cause and effect, compensation, relativity, polarity, and rhythm. When you can like get a grasp of those and understand that actually they're a foundational piece to you coming online to your energetic intelligence, you can immediately start responding differently in your life, right? Without them, life becomes very one-dimensional. We're missing out on so much. And we're just attaching to emotions, attaching to thoughts, getting trapped in trauma loops, getting trapped in healing. And I'm saying this from a place of love because I've been there. I've been on this journey. I've been on this healing journey for 41 years. I get it. I've supported many others on this healing journey. And over time, I've seen how we give our power away to our emotions, how we give our power away to our thoughts, how we give our power away to how we identify. Whether that be our gender, whether that be our status in community, whether that be our race, whatever. We identify so much with our human, with our past. I used to identify with my story so much. And I just was caught up in so much healing. And actually, that was my training ground for being able to now heal in this way, which is really efficient, which is just getting into the energy, transmuting it, detaching from it, and then using it to create my life, right? Knowing where my boundaries are weak, knowing where I'm giving away too much energy, knowing where I'm taking on too much energy. I've learned this the hard way. I've learned this by going through this perpetual trauma cycle, this healing cycle, this understanding my mind, understanding my emotions, trying to heal, going to healers to heal, until I created my own process that I've taken myself through countless times. I did it even yesterday and this morning. You know, that I'll give you an example. I woke up yesterday. I was really feeling out of sorts and emotionally just completely out of sorts. And so I was like, in the past, I would have just been like, oh God, this is the way I feel. And I would have just let that permeate through my entire day, through my everything that I did and through everyone that I was surrounded by. Like, I'm very powerful in my energy because I've trained, I know my energy so well, but when I'm loose with it, people feel it and it's not a good thing, right? And so I was going around with this kind of energy. And so I sat down with myself and I was like, right, you know what you're doing here. Where are you attaching to this emotion? What is this emotion? What are you feeling? And so I went into my body and I allowed my body to show itself to me. It's in its depths. Show me where this energy is that I'm feeling. What is it? And I was drawn to my solar plexus. And so it's just a really intuitive, and the more that you do it, the more that it kind of gets easier, and the more that you start to trust. And this is what I was saying about the healing mentorship. It's about building that trust for yourself. It's building that confidence in yourself. It's building that intuitive guidance with your divinity, with your knowledge, with your wisdom. It's building that the navigation skills within you to go into your body and know what's going on in your body, track the emotion, track the energy in your body. And I got taken to my solar plexus and I just started crying. And I was like, okay, I need to release this energy. I just need to release this energy. And then I was like, is this even my energy? I don't know if this is my energy. I'm asking my body, is this my energy? No, it's not my energy. Show me whose energy it is. And I got taken to, we do ancestral healing is just part and parcel of energy work. And if you're not doing that and you're an energy worker, or you work with energy, or you're healing with your energy, if you're not doing any kind of ancestral work, you're missing a trick. So I got taken to, I sensed an ancestor. I don't know who he was. I know he's in my paternal lineage. And he was going through immense sadness. And so I went through my practices of transmuting that energy, of integrating his energy. I'm going off on a tangent I never thought I was going to go off on, by the way. And I came back to myself. I'm cutting it all very short because it's a long-winded process. And that energy was gone from my body. And so I could carry on about my day without feeling that heaviness inside, and without getting lost in the stories. In the past, I would have been like, oh, but I'm really sad, and I'm sad because I had a really emotionally neglected childhood and I didn't get treated the way that I wanted to, and I experienced all this trauma and I was very lonely. I would have attached myself to all of those stories. I attached myself to those stories for a very, very, very long time. And so when you learn not to do that, and you learn to come into your energetic intelligence, and you learn to move and shift through life as an energy first and foremost, you release yourself from so much. There is so much freedom that comes with that, right? And that's why you need energetic intelligence. Why do you need energetic intelligence? Because when you are intentionally moving through life as an energy, you are trading your most valuable currency with intention. Your energy is your most valuable currency. It's the most valuable thing you own. Without your energy, you wouldn't be alive. It's your chi, it's your life force, it's your vitality. It's your health, it's your wellness, it's your mind, it's your body, it's your emotions, it's your heart, it's everything. So to not know how you are moving through life as an energetic being, you're basically like just giving it all away. That's why people feel overwhelmed. That's why people feel exhausted. So if when you have that intentionality with your life, you create clarity, you create focus, and you create certainty. Imagine just having clarity, focus, and certainty in your life right now. How would your life shift? How would your life change? How would you feel about your life? Being certain, being focused, being clear, being intentional. You would eliminate doubt. You would eliminate lack of confidence. You would eliminate lack of trust in yourself. You would eliminate time wasting. Like, time is our most precious commodity. Energy is our most valuable. Time is our most precious, in that it goes. We can't stop time, even though it's a construct or whatever. We age. We can age more slowly. That isn't something I usually sell, aging slowly. But when you're intentional with your energy, you're intentional with your time. You are saving yourself time. When you have energetic intelligence, you don't become attached to your thoughts and emotions, as I said, right? You go straight to the source of energy, you clear it from that point, and then you are free to focus your intention, because we are constantly evolving, we are constantly changing. And that is something that as humans, we've been made to feel afraid of. But that is the natural nature of who we are. We're constantly evolving. Energy is always evolving, transmuting, and changing, right? The law of transmutation. It's always evolving. We're always going through initiation. We haven't been taught how to go through initiation. That's why we're fucked, really, as a society. Sorry to say, but we're trying to like, stop the train. We don't want to go forwards. We are going forwards, whether we like it or not. So to be able to do it with clarity and go, right, this is where my life is at. That's where I want my life to be. What's going on with my energy here to create this? What kind of energy do I need to be in that space, in that new reality? What do I need to do? What tools do I have? What skills do I have to get me from A to B? That's what I mentor you on. In 6 months, you will learn how to move through life, move through change with empowerment, right? You activate a whole nother level of who you are when you learn how to move as an energetic intelligence. You are no longer just a human. You are a human with a divine intelligence connected to it. Right? That brings with it empowerment. Because yeah, as a human, we die. We're mortal. But as an energetic intelligence, as a soul, we're immortal. Energy doesn't die. It just changes. It transmutes. We just come and we transmute into something else. So when we can walk this life with both of those things, changes the game, completely changes the game, opens up a whole world of potential for you, opens up a whole, like there is limitless possibilities for you in this life. And when you know how to learn, and when you learn how to move with energy, you activate and open up those potentialities, those possibilities for you. Being connected to your energetic intelligence brings you peace as well. Peace of mind, peace of emotion, peace when the chaos around you in life that's out of your control, when you know how you can control yourself. So there's this element, and I spoke about this in a masterclass the other week, there's this element of, as a humanity, we are grasping onto control. We are panicked about the fact that life is out of our control. So we're scrambling around trying to, hold on tight to it. But that is graspy. If you feel the energy of that control, it's very limiting. It's restrictive. What about control that's all about wisdom and understanding and intelligence and perspectives and potential? Knowing that actually we have everything that we need within us. That's control in itself, right? I know I have everything I need within me to move through my life, to make things happen in my life. That is freedom. Control and freedom, right? You know how we were talking about the spectrum, the polarity? They're very closely linked. By knowing how, by training your energetic intelligence, you'll restore vitality to your body, right? We have a whole load of energetic entanglements happening in the unseen, in the quantum, that's just leaking energy from you. You are energetically connected to so many people right now. If you're not constantly clearing your energetic field, unhooking hooks, cord cutting, like all of those things, if you're not aware of how to come away from an enmeshment with somebody, there is so much in the quantum that you are leaking vital energy force into. If you're always tired, a lot of degenerative diseases closely linked to, in the quantum, leaking energy, being attached, being enmeshed, being entangled energetically with things. So when you can learn, no, my pleasure, my darling Estelle. When you learn how to disentangle yourself, how to locate where your enmeshments are in the first place, and then disentangle yourself, you're restoring vitality, flow of energy within you, an abundance of energy. You gain trust and confidence in yourself. You stop looking outside of you for thoughts and opinions and wisdom. Nobody has the answers that you need more than you. I have my answers, you have your answers. Yes, we can learn from people. There are teachings that we don't know about. I learn from people all the time. But when it comes to me and my life and what I need to do, that's down to me. That's my responsibility. And I have that, only I have that information based on my experience, based on my soul's journey, based on my human interactions. I have that wisdom. And when you can learn to do that over and over and over and over again, you build trust, you build confidence in yourself. And that just in itself changes the game for your life in all the human ways. How you show up at work, how you show up in your relationship, how you show up for life, the things that you want to go, you set your sights on and go for. You begin to instill a new trust and faith in life as well. We talked about how we've been conditioned to believe that life is scarce and lacking and that there's not enough to go round, and that actually if we have something then someone else can't have it, and vice versa. But life is abundant. And when we start to learn how to wield our energy, and what I mean by that is, because our energy is in constant motion, when we learn how to send that energy out into the world to retrieve a particular experience, basically co-create your life, but you can do it in such intricate ways. When you start to do that and you start to learn how life dances and how life moves, then you know exactly what steps to take to dance and move with it. So you're not butting up against life all the time and feeling that resistance all the time. You bring power to your intuition, because it's more than intuition. When you learn that you're actually you have a direct line to source, that you can connect to that divinity within you and lead from that place. What was one of the laws? To have inspired action. You're building on that intuition. And the other thing is, I wanted to just say, this isn't about manifestation. Manifestation to me is such a shallow concept. It's a shallow concept because it uses, the theory of manifestation in the modern kind of new age world is about aligning your thoughts and emotions to what you want and calling it in, and affirmations and all of that stuff. That's such shallow work. When you start to co-create life with your energy, that's long lasting, that's sustainable, that's a way of life. So yeah, that was a brief overview for nearly an hour on energetic intelligence. Oh my gosh, so many of you have been on here from the beginning. Thank you so much for listening. Does anybody have any questions? I wanted to just also add that, this is just one piece of how we become. I was saying earlier about how AI is the new technology in the human realm, and we have this technology of energy that we are being called as a humanity to learn how to use properly, and the intelligence piece is just one aspect of that. Integrity, energetic integrity goes hand in hand with intelligence. If you're not in integrity when you are moving with your energy, then that changes absolutely everything. Learning how to shift and transmute the energy, basically doing energy work on yourself, becoming your own healer, ancestral connections, reading the physical communications of your body, right? Your body is physically communicating with you at all times. So I woke up this morning with incredible pain in my kidneys, and I was like, oh my God, I've had a kidney infection before when I was much, much younger. And I was like, this feels like a kidney infection. What is going on? And I was like, no, okay, I'm going to use what I know to kind of help me with this. And so I kind of went into my body and started feeling into my kidneys. Now, our kidneys hold fear. Our kidneys hold the energy of fear. So we often, and fear drains the life force out of our kidneys, and our kidneys are what cleans our blood, right? So being able to understand also your physical body in relation to your energy body is so important. Turns out I'm planning on moving our family halfway across the world, leaving all of our friends and leaving all our friends and family. There's a lot of fear that comes with that. But I've not been attaching myself to my fear. So I haven't really been dealing with it. But it's coming up as a physical manifestation in my body. So I had to deal with it today. And I had to shift and move it today. So your physical body, learning how to move with your physical body and read the signs of your physical body is really important. You mentioned laws. What might we learn these? I mean, you can rewatch this video and take them in as a concept. But to fully integrate them and learn them, I have a 6-month healing mentorship that I take people through that encompasses all of those laws that I've been through today and teaches you how to become sovereign in yourself, in your energy, learning your energetic intelligence, learning your energetic integrity, learning how to shift and move the energy in your body, learning how to shift and move the energy in the quantum field, learning how to work with your ancestors, learning how to build a relationship with your divinity so you can start to co-create life. If you're interested in that 6-month mentorship, let's have a consultation call. In the consultation call, I'll find out exactly where you're at. Like, we'll talk for an hour. We have an hour, find out exactly where you're at. In that kind of speaking to you about where you're at and also where you want to be, I'll be able to pick up on some energy information that's going on with you in your life and give you a roadmap, an energetic roadmap of what you can implement in your life to start shifting into from where you're at to where you want to be. And that's yours to have, right? That information. Like, everyone that has a call with me is like, oh my God, just even having that call shifted so much for me. But then at the end of that call, there's an invitation to do that work with me over the 6 months. And truly, it's the most transformational space that I've ever held. It's come from me doing this work for my entire life. I've been doing this work my entire life and creating a practice and concept of understanding how you move as energy and applying it to your life and integrating it into your life so that on the other side, you walk away having embodied and integrated those laws. You know how to move as an energy. Woke up with a huge headache close to migraine. What emotion might that be? Headaches can come from so many things. Headaches can be, if you know that you're empathic, headaches can be from taking on other people's energy too much and it building up. I need to have way more information than just what that might be. But what I would suggest to you is communicate with it. Close your eyes, go into your body, connect with the headache. Ask it. It's every signal we receive from our physical body through the form of pain, particularly, but any signal we receive through the body is your body trying to communicate with you. It's saying, hey, listen up. You need to know something here. So for me this morning, my kidneys, it was like, okay, you've got all this fear going on really deep inside. Because you're practiced at not attaching to your emotion or your mental state, you're not feeling fear on a outward level. But there's fear running through you because naturally we're going to be doing something huge in our lives. Naturally, there's a lot of fear. And so it took my body to tell me, wait, through pain, wait, come and address this fear. So allow yourself to communicate with your body. But again, if that's something that you want to learn, come and join me in the 6-month mentorship. It's one-to-one, it's bespoke to you. But it takes you through this process of understanding life through an energetic lens, and it changes the game for you completely. So if you want to book a consult, you can go to the link in my bio and you can book one. It's complimentary. It's 60 minutes. You'll get so much insight. And if you want to then take that work further, I can explain how we can do that then. I've been studying somatic therapy and it fascinates me how effective it is. Yes, somatic therapy is effective. But when you combine it with the energetic work, it's sustainable and it's much more effective in that you're cutting off the energy of that emotion at the root. Does that make sense? So emotion, somatic therapy is all about moving emotion through the body, moving stuck emotion, moving stuck trauma, stuck experiences through the body, right? And letting them go. But when they're hooked in energetically, because you can't see that and you don't know that, but everything is always hooked in energetically. So you can move things through your body, but until you unhook them energetically, there's a chance that there's going to be remnants of that still. Hence why we were talking about these cycles of trauma. I wanted to thank you all for being here for so long and listening and asking your questions and taking part. Thank you so much. If you want to know anything more about energetic intelligence, all of the other things that I've mentioned, then don't hesitate to send me a DM. If you want to take this work deeper, then book a consult. 60 minutes is complimentary. The link's in my bio. But yeah, thank you for being here. Much love.